Overcast and a little rainy at the ballpark today. We are at Wrigley Field for Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. Game 2 of a 4-game weekend series against the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. Both teams have won 4 of their last 5, and we're going to get right into the pitching matchup. Johnny Cueto and Jason Hamill.
It is a dandy. These two among the most stingiest pitchers in all of baseball. Low ERAs, tough to hit. Look at the numbers on Cueto since 2011. Not many better. 57 and 29 with a 2.50 ERA. Jason Hamill, outstanding in this ballpark last year. He's been outstanding in this ballpark again this year. Last 3 home starts, 1-0 with a 164 earned run average.
So we're set for baseball. The last time the Cubs opened the bleachers, they won 6 in a row. Well, they won last night as the right field section opened. 6-3 the final. They'll go for 3 in a row coming up next. Weiser still brewed the hard way. This bug's for you. Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Now at your Honda dealer. Napa, home of Napa know-how. Ford, America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Subway, make a smart play for savory subs this season. Score more flavor at Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition on WGN TV is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Hello, Starlin. Hi, Anthony. Well, amateur meteorologist Joe Madden has the weather. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, before I came down, it's at 0% the rest of the afternoon. It just dropped to 0. I think that's okay. Although there's rain detected within 2 miles of my location, so I don't know what the internet or these weather reporting services. But I think we're okay. It looks like we're okay.
Joe's going to keep his day job. Paul Conrad, you are safe at the moment. So 52 degrees.
52 degrees?
No way. Let's get the Reds starting lineup written out by their manager, Brian Price. They are really banged up right now, but nobody feeling sorry for them. Just the way it goes. Skip Schumacher is in left. Marlon Bird's on the DL. Ivan De Jesus Jr. is at second. Brandon Phillips day-to-day with a groin issue. Joey Votto hitting third today. Todd Frazier has been sizzling hot. Jay Bruce is in right. The switch-hitting catcher Brian Pena will bat sixth. Eugenio Suarez now at short. Zach Cozart done for the year. Reds have been batting their pitcher eighth here as of late. And Billy Hamilton back in the lineup playing center.
Cubs on defense this afternoon. Coughlin, Fowler, Denorfia left, center, right. Bryant, Castro, Russell, Rizzo third to first. Miguel Montero behind the plate. Jason Hamill on the mound. Cubs have been playing solid defensively over the last week and change, and Jason Hamill's just been flat out really good almost every time he goes out there. He's 5-2 with a 2.76 ERA. He's making his 12th start. His last four have all been on the road. He has not faced the Cincinnati ball club since 2011. Among the league leaders in many categories. He's number one with that 0.89 whip.
Vic Carapazza is the home plate umpire. Chicago native Dan Bellino at first. Toby Basner at second. And Ron Kalpa is at third. And here we go. Skip Schumacher takes a four-seam fastball out of the zone, and we are underway. Is a strike.
Schumacher, patient sort. He'll take some pitches. He'll work a walk. Normal four-pitch guy, but leans heavily on fastball slider.
Likes to work quickly, and that one's wide. To make it 2-1. Schumacher making his 16th start. He's made starts in left, at second, and in the DH spot. Reds have been struggling on the road. They have won just one of their last 11 away from Cincinnati. Reds have won their last two games, scoring 18 times in the process.
Before an out recorded, that man has a souvenir. He's off to a good start.
Ground ball, and Russell let it get through his legs for an error.
Eighth error charge to Addison Russell. He's over there in good shape. Just got done talking about the Cubs. Defensively, they've been on a pretty nice roll.
Ivan De Jesus Jr., the son of the former Cub shortstop, Ivan Sr., is playing second today. Fifth consecutive start. He made two in left and now three in a row at second for Brandon Phillips. Check on the runner Schumacher.
Some starting pitchers, many starting pitchers, vulnerable in the first inning until they get settled in. That has not been the case with Hamill this year. He's only allowed 2 first-inning runs in his 11 starts. He made 2 starts on the road trip, won them both. He's had a career high with 11 strikeouts 2 starts ago. That was June 1st at Miami, and then 8 innings of 2-run ball in his last start against the Nationals.
Runner goes, and that ball drilled deep to left. It's going to rest right there on the warning track. Schumacher will score. It's a double for De Jesus, and it's 1-0 Reds. 2 batters in. That'll be an unearned run.
Trying to go away with a fastball, and it drifts back over the middle of the plate. Brian Price had Schumacher in motion. Easy for him to come all the way around to score.
And that'll bring up Joey Votto.
Ask Joe Madden why Jason Hamill's been so good this year. He talks about fastball command. Slider has been an out pitch for him. When he has struggled, it's usually a little glitch mechanically where he'll fly open and that fastball will leak up and out over the plate on him.
Votto hitting third for the first time since May 24th. Breaking ball strike.
Watching Votto hit, it's like a computer. You know, he processes every pitch. He sees it, thinks about it.
1-1 on the way. He's lifted in the air. Ball kind of disappearing in the fog, and it'll land in the glove of Chris Coghlan.
We could have a homer in the Gloman here today.
We could. What we are going to have today is a lot of country music. Country Day here at the ballpark.
Yeehaw.
The promotional giveaway, country style Cubs baseball cap. We're giving out to all the Budweiser bleacher fans. This is a terrific cap. We were given a couple.
Yeah.
Very nice. Swing and a miss. And a slider to Frazier.
She likes to fish, and she's purty too.
How do you spell that?
P-U-R-T-I-E.
Called strike two.
So that's the didn't make the pitch he wanted to make, but got away with it, trying to go away with that slider. Didn't bite, it just cement mixtured up there and found the strike zone.
It's played by Montero. And we are told as well there are bales of hay in the bleachers today. I don't see any from our vantage point, but
maybe Elvin Bishop is sitting on one.
They're back on the concourse. There's always hay on the foul poles here. Hey, hey.
Got Jay Hay on the mound.
The 2-2 to Frazier is fouled out of play. Frazier putting together a terrific season since May 5th. He's batting .338. Yeehaw!
Glenn.
Did 3-2. Bruce on deck. An error by Russell to start it. Schumacher reached on that miscue and then scored on the Jesus double. Votto flied to left. Now a full count on Todd Frazier.
Well, in keeping with the theme, Frazier country strong. He's got great power.
Hits that one well. Dexter Fowler won't get to it. It'll one hop the door. DeJesus scores. It's a double for Todd Frazier. Gives him 21 RBIs his last 35 games. 2-0 Reds.
Jason Hamill would like a mulligan about his success early in ball games, but he's a little off right now. Not able to execute pitches, and I'm sure the error hurt him, but ringing double by DeJesus, and now Frazier blisters one.
Look at that. He had allowed just 2 all season.
This is his first start in this ballpark since May 13th. The road warrior here lately.
He was at 213 overall and just 197 against right-handers. 0 for 4 last night in the opener. He's won that game 6-3. Frazier to third, and he gets in. Bryant did a good job just to keep that ball out of left, or Frazier might have scored. So he's got his 7th steal.
Brian Price staying on the attack here. He had the hit and run earlier. Now he turns Frazier loose to steal third base. Montero couldn't get that ball cleanly out of his mitt. It proves to be a difference maker.
Exmo look down at third. Bruce bounces foul.
Johnny Cueto on the mound for the Reds. Cubs pull the infield in, down 2 already. Hamel needs a punch out.
Cubs at 32-26. They tied their season best. It's the record of 6 games over 500. Reds are 27-32. 4th place in the NL Central. The Cubs right now holding down the 2nd wild card spot in the NL. If the season ended today, the Cubs would travel to San Francisco. And a 1-game win or go home. Full count, 3-2. I know it's early, but it's fun to look at the standings.
Absolutely. Fun to be in the conversation. No need to give in here. He may expand with that man on third base.
Swing and a miss. He got him. That's the 2nd out. Needed to miss a bat, as you said, and he did. And as he walked back to the mound, Todd Frazier went about 1/3 of the way toward home plate. Maybe trying to catch somebody napping, but
good curveball there from Hamel. Pitch he'll use more often with the lefties than the righties.
Ryan Pena, at one point through his first plate appearance last night, had a hit in 7 consecutive trips. That is average from 276 up over 300. Devin Mesoraco on the DL with a hip injury, and he's been playing some left. That's into right for a base hit. Frazier scores. 3-0 Reds.
Down a little bit, but on the plate, Pena makes a lot of contact. Very low strikeout rate. He'll take his walks. Doesn't hit for power. He just kind of knows his own game.
Eugenio Suarez made his Reds debut last night. He's here because Zach Cozart's done for the season with a devastating right knee injury. Strike 1 on a fastball.
Injury is a big problem for the Reds last year. Bruce dealt with injuries. Joey Votto missed a bunch of time. Brandon Phillips was battling something, it seemed.
Suarez at one point was a switch hitter, no longer the case. Made his debut last year with Detroit as they dealt with the Jose Iglesias injury. Came over to the Reds in the Alfredo Simon trade. The pitch bounced foul. 30-pitch first inning for Jason Hammel.
That pitch too. That was another example of that fastball leaking back over the plate. Typically, he's got very good glove side command of that fastball. He can pound down and away against the right-handed hitters. Every now and then he gets into a little bit of a funk. That thing will run back out over the middle of the plate.
Could not get him to bite that time. 1-2. Cueto is on deck. Hard but foul.
Right-handed batters are hitting less than 200 against Jason Hammel coming into this ballgame. The league overall hitting just 211 against him, 9th best. Same for Cueto. Their numbers are very similar. Top 10 in ERA in the league for both.
He hits Suarez. Without taking a look back at all of his starts, I'm going to say this is the worst inning he's had this year. He has not had many. It's out of sorts as Chris Bosio will head out to the mound.
Looking at his game by game here, he's only allowed more than 3 runs in a start on 3 occasions. He's never allowed more than 4 in any of his starts.
So here comes Cueto. Strike called on Cueto. This may actually work out quite well for Brian Price, assuming Cueto makes a final out here of this inning. Billy Hamilton leading off the second. Hamilton in the 9 spot, leading the majors in stolen bases, but he hasn't been getting on base enough.
In traffic. Great concentration.
Tap back to Hammel. Getting finally over. 37 pitches for Hammel. It's the Reds 3 and the Cubs coming up from Wrigley. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Fowler homered last night. Anthony Rizzo hitting .327, putting together a fantastic first half. Chris Bryant in that 3 spot. Miguel Montero's hit 3-run homers in each of the last 2 games. Starlin Castro at short. Chris Coughlin, Chris DeNorfia, the corner outfielders today. Hamill 8th, Russell 9th.
Reds afield. Schumacher, Hamilton the speedster, Bruce with a cannon out and right. Frazier at third base, the newbies in the middle, Suarez and DeJesus Jr., Joey Votto at first, Ryan Pena resting to regular duty behind the plate with a Mesoraco injury. And on the mound, Johnny Cueto, 29-year-old right-hander, free agent to be. 4-4 with a .264 earned run average through 11 starts. Luke hits .211 against him. Strikes out a bunch, doesn't walk many. Fastball, cutter, slider, change, curveball, and he'll throw any pitch in any count.
And a strike called on Dexter Fowler. 3 runs by the Reds, only 1 earned in the top of this first inning. 2 strikes on Dexter.
Dexter coming off a nice road trip. Big swing of the bat here last night. His 7th home run.
How shall I put this about Johnny Cueto? Obviously, the industry insiders know how great he is, but I think the casual baseball fan outside of Cincinnati, I would call him criminally underrated. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, and it's also be a great name for an album. Johnny Cueto's latest release, Criminally Underrated. Yeah, I think that's fair.
We had
20-game winner last year. 19-game winner in 2012. He's only made 1 All-Star team. Probably should have made 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. The .250 ERA since 2011 we showed you in the open. There's one guy who's been better, swing and a miss for strike 3. That's Clayton Kershaw at .221.
Well, he's implementing this quick pitch we see Pedro Strop use so often. Cueto a lot of times will do that little Louis Tiant-ish kind of turn his back to the hitter, hitch and go. Now he's using this quick pitch. This is the 2nd time he did it in the sequence to Fowler.
Not only that, a quick pitch changeup to get the strikeout. Here's Rizzo.
It's a great weapon, right? Especially if you if you come out of that bullpen and you don't feel like you have your best fastball, you don't have that ball popping, so you got to get a little creative early. There it goes again.
In the air to left. Schumacher back now in as the wind is going to push most fly balls out toward that area back toward home plate.
And I don't know the number, but it seems to me, as we see with Strop, the swing rate is pretty high when these pitchers use this quick pitch. Guys, hitters just get a little jumpy. Now,
Bryant has been a lot better against righties than lefties so far. OPS almost 900 versus righties, under 650 versus lefties. There you go. Bangs a single to left. So the Cubs have their first hit and base runner, and it'll bring up Miguel Montero. This one sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. Now, he's been doing this a lot lately. I mean, hit that ball hard, but his natural swing is to stay through the ball more and get it airborne. He's been hitting the ball with a lot of topspin lately. He's been getting his base hits to left. He hits the balls hard down the line, but when he's at his best, he's actually kind of staying through the ball a little longer through the strike zone and driving the ball alley to alley.
Montero with the 3-run homer last night is now homered in back-to-back games for the 12th time in his career. Once he has had a 3-game homer streak. That came last year with Arizona. He was trying to tie that Personal mark on that swing right there, 0-2.
Yeah, I think he's been hunting fastballs a little bit more aggressively in the last couple of ball games. Said he was caught in between trying to guess along. Now he's just, at least early, looking for fastballs and looking to do damage.
One and two the count. And it holds for that foul. Will the Reds pull the trigger on some deals? They continue to be under 500. We mentioned all the injuries they're dealing with. Might lose Cueto due to free agency. Mike Leake, who will start tomorrow night, also will become a free agent. Will they consider moving Aroldis Chapman?
There was a lot of talk in the offseason after a tough year last year that Walt Jocketty might back up the truck and make a lot of changes. But he's got a handful of these guys committed to long-term deals, so he doesn't have a whole lot of flexibility. And it was also reasonable, if you were the Reds, to think, well, with as many injuries as we had last year, if we keep our guys healthy, we have a chance to be a much better team in 2015. Now the injury bug has bitten again. I don't know that much about their farm system, how much depth they have down there, but boy, you'd have to be tempted with what the haul you could get for a guy like Cueto.
Yep. Ground ball to second. Picked up by De Jesus, and that will end the inning. 2-out single, no runs. Budweiser Bleacher Friday in the old ballpark.
Welcome back, Cub fans. If you want to manage the game along with Joe Madden, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you watch from home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, more. Everything you need to have more fun at home this summer.
Billy Hamilton back in the Reds lineup after missing 3 games with a sore left wrist. Cornermen in because of that. But dug into the numbers a little bit. Billy Hamilton's ground ball percentage 42% this year, and that matches his career. That puts him 109th among all major league hitters.
Yeah, league average is right around 45%. With Hamilton's game, you would want him to be among the best in baseball in terms of hitting the ball on the ground, using that speed. No food up there.
Coughlin. Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Make your plans now to catch a game here in the friendly confines. The Cubs continue this homestand with night games the rest of the way. Reds back for 2 more. The Indians will round it out with a 2-game series Monday and Tuesday night. Get your seats at Cubs.com. Schumacher reached to start the ball game on an error by Addison Russell. He would immediately score on the Jesus RBI double.
Good let up. 1, 2, 3 left-handed bats plus a couple switch hitters in the lineup today, so Hamill will have to work that curveball changeup a little more. Didn't throw a lot of sliders in the first inning, and he's had that issue with his fingernail, and it really affects his slider, so I don't know if that's bothering him or not.
Schumacher is a ground ball hitter. Hits it foul into the upper deck. We'd love to get your Cubs selfies. Hashtag WGN Cubs. If it has a country twist today, it's even better. We'll count 3-2. It's misting here at the ballpark. Very heavy air. 52 degrees as we got started.
It's the kind of day that makes you second guess your calendar. Convinced that Schumacher's not going to hit the ball over the heads out there in center and left. Him as an off-field hitter, very shallow in the outfield.
Schumacher draws the walk. A rare walk issued by Jason Hamill. The 10th he has allowed. One intentional walk. They go along with 77 strikeouts.
Second best strikeout to walk ratio in baseball prior to this game.
There goes, swing and a miss. The throw is in time to get Schumacher.
Tandon successfully hit and run in the first inning. They try it again here. De Jesus doesn't make contact, throws inside a little bit, but what a play by Russell. Great catch and tag. Airborne to get it. Hanging in there and applying the tag and hanging onto the ball.
Time. Jesus held. Second round pick of the Dodgers, 2005. From Puerto Rico, 28 years old. Made his debut in 2011 with the Dodgers. First time back in the big leagues this year since 2012. Almost 1,000 games over 11 seasons in the minors.
Be prepared, fellas.
Another walk.
He's just not right today. And again, I don't know if that finger's bothering him or just one of those days.
Keep in mind, Joe Madden had to use the bullpen last night for the final 6 innings. They were outstanding. Gave up 2 hits and no runs. Travis Wood got the win in relief of Tsuyoshi Wada. You'd like to get some length out of Hamill today. Should have been the expectation. He's gone 8 innings 3 times already this season. But this will be his 57th pitch. And it misses low and in on Votto.
Yeah, the way Hamill's been this year, 1 walk is surprising. 2 in a row is astonishing.
Driven in the air, deep left center. Fowler on the track. He's got it right up against that door to end the inning. Nice running grab by Dexter Fowler. They're in from Tampa. 3-0 Reds. Cub fans, make sure you check out Len and JD's baseball blog at WGNTV.com. Sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your nationwide insurance agent. Serving the area for 37 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side as Jay Bruce made the catch. By the way, those are bales of straw, technically, according to Scott on Twitter, not bales of hay. Scott said I grew up on a farm, so I'm gonna trust him on that.
What's the difference between straw and hay?
Could not tell you. I think you can get away with bales of hay.
Yeah,
just fine.
Vernacular.
Low strike on Chris Coughlin. Opposite field base hit. Chris Coghlan, and it gets by Schumacher. Be a hit and an error.
Well, wet grass has a tendency to skip. Perhaps that's what happened to Skip. Nope. He just whiffed.
Former Red Krista Northfield. Made his major league debut 2005 with the Reds. His manager was Jerry Narron.
Missed a bunch of time because of the hamstring issue, but when healthy, he's been swinging it pretty well. Opportunity here to get on the board.
Really gusting in right now out of the northeast. Almost straight in from center. Remember this? You sleep on straw. You eat hay. Got it?
Sure.
Well, you wouldn't probably. Your horse might.
And you would wear a straw hat, but you never wear a hay hat.
Two balls, two strikes. Coghlan, the runner at second, one out. The pitch. And you got him.
Get some swings and misses with that changeup. That was a dandy. The Budweiser bleachers have made their debut. The enhanced bleachers have a new look, a new feel, additional amenities, and more group spaces. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Cubs.com/bleachers to buy tickets and learn more about the new spaces and concessions as they become available over the coming months.
Pitcher Hamill. Cueto missed a start on May the 24th. He had some right elbow soreness. Did not go to the DL, just was skipped. And has allowed one earned run in 2 starts since.
A lot of turnover in this rotation. Matt Latos now a Marlin. Alfredo Simon now a Tiger. Homer Bailey done for the year.
Tony Cingrani's in the bullpen.
Rotation that had been pretty stable for a couple of years, but a lot of turnover. Obviously very important for the Reds to keep Johnny Cueto healthy for 2 reasons. He's the lead dog in this rotation, and because of the trade value, the potential haul they could get for him.
A 20-game winner last year, the first Red to win 20 in a season since Danny Jackson went 23-8 in 1988. First Reds right-hander to do it since Sammy Ellis and Jim Maloney both did it in 1965. Base hit right. Coghlan around third. Bruce's throw late. Jason Hamill with his career best 8th hit on the year. And the Cubs are on the board. It's 3-1.
How about that? Jason Hamill with a huge 2-out knock to aid his own cause. Now, Bruce got a big arm out there. The wet grass slowed it down, though, so it took a little while for him to get there. Coghlan head first slide. Cubs on the board.
The lesson, I think, early on today, and it's one that every team should heed every day, and that is don't make errors, as they've loomed large. And Russell miscue in the first, and now Schumacher here in the second. Here is Addison Russell. First time Jason Hamill has had 8 hits in a season. And he still has a lot of it to be played. Came in at 233. He's now 8 out of 31. Up over 250 now.
Doing the best pitching of his career and proving to be a contributor with the bat as well. That's not supposed to happen. You know, he's 32 years of age. Typically, when you get a pitcher around that age, you're just hoping that he could hold serve, you know, be who the guy he was. He's actually gotten better the last couple of years.
So, talking about Cueto, what his value might be in a trade. Remember, the Cubs were able to get Addison Russell. They dealt Hamill and Samardzija to Oakland in early July, not late July. So the A's got a couple of more starts each from Hamill and Samardzija.
Yeah, and it's shaping up to be a very good seller's market because there's a lot of teams that have to feel like they have a fighting chance for a playoff spot. Now that's likely to shake out a little bit as we get closer to the trade deadline, but if it doesn't, those teams that are poised to move people.
Hamilton will not catch this one. Hamill to third. On his way to the plate. The throw there. Save. 3-2 now. As Jason Hamill goes first to home.
I love the look on the face. It's like, hey, that's fun. Playing the whole game. Wow. What a swing by Russell. A couple of big 2-out knocks here. Always a dangerous scent for the third base coach when you got the pitcher running. You just don't know when he's going to hit that quicksand and run out of gas. But Hamill had enough in the tank to get there ahead of the relay. Good form on the slide, big guy.
Addison Russell looks like he's been there before, doesn't he? He's a cool customer. So only a 1-run ball game now. Pitch to Dexter Fowler, swing and a miss.
Anyway, to finish the point on Cueto, the sellers at the trade deadline looks like they're going to have tremendous leverage. Many teams competing for a few assets.
So then the question is, if you jump the market, do you get more than if you were able to wait? Don't know the answer to that. Schumacher over, leaves his feet, makes the catch. Battling that wind and the elements today, that would have tied the game easily. But Skip Schumacher robs a bloop double from Fowler. Cubs get 2. Annual trip north to Wrigley Field. They've been a part of Cubs spring training since 1952. A group of local business leaders in Arizona. They volunteer their time. They host spring training, donate the money they raise for youth sports. Well, it was 40 years ago today. Sweet swinging Billy Williams hit his 400th home run. It was wearing white shoes with the Oakland A's. County Stadium off Tom Murphy of the Brewers. One strike on Todd Frazier. 3-2 now.
Frazier a little perplexed with that strike call from Vic Carapazza, the home plate umpire.
Bruce and Pena to follow. Driven to deep left. Way back there. It is gone. Todd Frazier with a double and a homer today. That is his 10th home run since May 5th, covering just 35 games, number 18 overall.
Reds host the All-Star game this year. He wants to be a part of it, and you have to believe he's got a real good shot, don't you? He went fastball away, trying to go off the plate with his heater. And again, you see that action bringing it back to the plate, but it's still outside corner, but he's looking out there. He goes out. He just leans on that one. Again, I'm a little suspicious that we haven't seen many sliders from Jason here today.
I thought I saw him looking at his hand earlier, but he's not going to use that as an excuse. And as you know, once you have that sort of issue on your pitching hand, when you're out there every 5 or 6 days, it's hard to get it healed in the middle of the season. One and two.
We talked about the splits for Bruce earlier. They're kind of reversed. He's better in terms of batting average against left-handed pitching than righties. I think he just gets a little jumpy against right-handed pitching.
Line shot. Fowler will make the catch. A little slide at the end.
Pretty well struck as well, though.
Hamels 1-1.
Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated game used and autographed Cubs memorabilia. Visit Cubs.com/authentics for more information and to bid on weekly auction items, including game used baseballs, jerseys, bases, and much more.
Pena waves at strike 3. Two down. We'll bring up Suarez.
Strike out much. Fooled by the breaking pitch there.
I would say everything else is under the lights tonight, but we are as well. The overcast, rainy conditions late in the afternoon. Featured series this weekend. Royals at the Cardinals. Interleague play. Rodano Ventura and Jaime Garcia tonight. Kansas City leading the AL Central by 2 over Minnesota. The Cardinals with a 6-game lead over the Cubs in the NL Central. That's the biggest lead in baseball. He went for strike 3. Stambolino making the call at first base. Leadoff homer, Todd Frazier. 4-2 Cincy. In an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Can I have the card?
Yeah, here you go.
You. There you have
yourself out.
Well, you can't use that when it's got a lot of zeros on it. This one belongs to cardholder name, which is a convenient name.
John Doe.
2-0 on Anthony Rizzo. Look at 2-1. Torrey Hunter gets a 2-game suspension. Also fined for his actions on Wednesday. Into it with the umpire, ended up throwing his jersey onto the field. He got his money's worth. Pulled foul. Oakland A's switch-handed pitcher Pat Venditti goes to the DL with a sprained right shoulder. No word on whether it's the 7.5 DL or not. 7.5 day DL, I should say, as Rizzo takes a call at third. Not too happy with the home plate umpire during that at bat.
No, but quality work by Cueto. Look how he worked the edges and moved the ball in and out, and gets a call on a fastball off the outside corner. Rizzo's got a very keen eye. Anthony 0 for 2 today, and now just 2 out of 20 in his career against Cueto. Hitters will tell an umpire in a day like today with a guy like Cueto out there, hey man, he doesn't need any help.
Ball foul. Let's check out the Cubs minor league report. See what Kyle Schwarber is doing. Not a big surprise. Carl Edwards recently promoted to Iowa. That's Carl Edwards Jr. We know him as CJ. Schwarber and first baseman Dan Vogelbach will be all-star starters for the North Division in the Southern League All-Star Game June 23rd. And I saw Javier Baez is leading Pacific Coast League shortstops in all-star voting, but he won't be able to participate with a broken finger as Bryant strikes out swinging. 2 in a row for Cueto, 4 on the day.
Cueto maybe starting to get his mojo going here after the Cubs got to him in the second. Real good changeups in that sequence. I didn't realize they even voted for the minor league all-star team. They were just appointed by the managers.
There's Montero.
A good idea here to ask for time. You see Cueto's in a real good rhythm.
Montero went 1-2. Should have said, I believe, the AAA All-Star Game. He's leading Pacific Coast League shortstops. So the All-Star Game encompasses both AAA leagues. Is it the International League and the PCL?
Yeah. It used to be 3 at the American Association, but no more.
Cueto has used that little slide step quick pitch delivery more today than we've seen in the past. Actually a lot more.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing much of it. I'm used to the little tee-out move where he turns and hesitates a little bit.
Here's his 3-2, a swing and a miss. Johnny Cueto strikes out the side in the third. 4-2 Reds.
prepare yourself for high danger late inning situations by playing chicken with a screaming foul ball. You don't even flinch. Speed Replay is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. A year-long game of chicken down there for those guys. And then foul ball, it's, I guess if you move, you lose.
Hamill to Cueto, who bunts toward first. And look at that. It's going to roll foul. Foul ball. An A for effort there on Johnny Cueto's part. And Hamill enjoyed it since it went foul.
Just enough side spin to kick foul at the last here. There was no play to be made. We just had to let it roll and hope for the best.
His helmet almost hit the ball. Shot, base hit. How about that at bat? Throwing a shot first, he gets in a little collision with Rizzo. Fowler tried to throw him out from center. I've seen guys get thrown out from right. Have you ever seen a guy get thrown out by a center fielder?
I've never even seen it tried before. Cueto's not hurt. He's just out of gas, sprinting down the line on the bunt try and on this line drive to center. He's kind of wise to what Fowler's trying here. He looks like he might be carrying a few extra LBs here these days.
Ball one on Hamilton. If he hits a gapper, he may be tailgating his pitcher. Out of my way, sir. Do not want you to get out your rule book. I'm pretty sure you can't do this. You can't like shove the guy in front of you like roller derby, can you?
You have a baton and just pass the baton. Let me trade spots with you. Nobody could use Cueto as a lead blocker.
Ball in the air off the bat of Hamilton. And it'll be Fowler. Are you in charge of planning your next social gathering? Plan a day at Wrigley Field and enjoy special perks only available inside the ballpark. The Cubs offer special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more. Visit Cubs.com/groups. I recall asking you if you were your family's social coordinator, and you said no.
Not so much.
You get locked up when they ask you link or patties.
That's correct.
Good answer.
I don't like going to those restaurants where they got like 100 things on the menu. It just really locked me up.
Ground ball into right. Cueto's going to stop at second. Well, he was thinking about third. While we have a chance, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Chris Bosio. Yeah, it was Sean Casey who once was thrown out by a left fielder, but he thought the ball had been caught. You remember that?
I don't.
But I mean, it was not a straight running to first, get thrown out.
Stopped and started to drift towards the dugout.
It used to happen more often on the artificial turf. Balls that were hit hard to right. I know Keith Moreland said he got thrown out by a right fielder once.
I have visions of Glenn Wilson trying it Dawson.
By the way, I mentioned the Torrey Hunter 2-game suspension. He is appealing, which means he will get to play until that appeal is heard.
Johnny Cueto's feeling pretty frisky today. They're bouncing around off second base.
Hit very hard. Castro only has one play. That's first base as he gets De Jesus. So second and third, 2 outs for Votto.
Well, here's an interesting conundrum. You got Joey Votto up and a base open, but the guy on deck has doubled and homered already today.
They will intentionally walk Votto. So as good as Todd Frazier has been this season, that's how good Joey Votto is. Do not want to make any sort of mistake against him here with 2 men in scoring position.
Yeah, it's basically pick your poison, and when you look at the numbers, Hamill a better matchup with Frazier right on right. Just hasn't been today.
Now a look at our Mazda replay cam. Frazier with a line drive home run. The pitch might have actually been off the outside corner, but he pulled it to left. Mazda conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way.
Jason Hamill's going to need a little bit of all of that right here.
Foul pass. Jim Riggleman, former Cubs manager, the Reds' third base coach. Kicks away, and Cueto, who, as you said, was frisky earlier, he's not going to try it here. That would have been a perfect way for his inning to end, though. Getting thrown out at the plate.
Yeah. Frazier's waving him home. He's down 2 strikes. He's like, come on, give it a shot. Look at the hanger there. Huge confrontation. Cubs able to come back and score a couple in the second against Johnny Cueto to tighten things up. Frazier comes through here. It's going to be a big mountain to climb against Cueto. He might be a little fatigued, however, from his trip around the bases.
Frazier strikes out with the bases loaded. And that'll end the inning. So the decision to walk Votto pays off. Hamill trying to hang in there today, trailing 4-2 in the 4th.
Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you.
So the inning breaks are 2:25, right? Got the clock winding down. Tony Cueto did not even get out to the mound until there was about 60 seconds to go, and the clock just ran out. He doesn't need a lot of time to get loose. Really stretching out his hamstrings or his calves on the steps in the dugout. I saw him stretching his legs down at third base in the last half inning as well.
Sprinted down the first baseline on the bunt attempt that went foul. Sprinted down the first baseline and the base hit the center. Worked his way to third base. He's still trying to gather himself out there as he finished up his warm-up pitches. Catch his breath.
Castro 0 for 1, line to right, his first time up. He was hitting .333 on May 1st. Since then, just .221. It's been a pretty prolonged slump without hitting for much power either as he grounds out to Suarez.
Yeah, a whole lot of that right there from Starlin. Ball's on the ground to the left side of the infield. He needs to change games right now with Billy Hamilton. Hamilton trying to hit the ball on the ground and Starlin trying to drive the ball a little bit more. That ball sharply hit at least.
Coghlan coming in, hitting .343 over his last 11 games. A hit and a run in the second. Frazier off the line even with a bag at third. Pretty shallow in the outfield, particularly in center. Yes, Schumacher a little deep, but not Hamilton.
Source of pride for a center fielder, those burners. They like to play really shallow and dare you to hit the ball over their head. They have confidence that they can take away the blue pits.
And the wind blowing in probably gives Hamilton a few extra steps toward the plate.
Kid in New York, Lagares, will play the most shallow center field in the game.
Cueto almost considered unique in that he sets that plant foot, that push-off foot, I should say, right in the middle of the pitching rubber. See a lot of guys on each side still stretching. It's not quite
tight,
comfortable. Looks like you during the 7th inning stretch every day. Occasionally gets back tightness.
Usually after I finish off my push-ups, stretch my hammies.
Thing I really appreciate about Cueto is that, some elite pitchers are very meticulous. They have the same routine between pitches. There's a method to the madness, but he's closer to Jason Mott than he is Jake Arrieta in terms of the way he works.
Yeah, I think he's very creative. He's already noted the different deliveries. Here comes that quick pitch again.
Called strike 3. He loves to play the game. This one ended up foul. Lost his helmet in the process. He was hustling down that line. Dexter Fowler trying to throw him out. Collision with
takes a little time out.
So I wonder, did he? It's possible. We may have to go back to that little collision. He landed awkwardly. Maybe caught a spike or something in the dirt. We know how big Anthony is. It did not look like much. But he's the last guy you'd want to run into on a baseball field. That's when he started to kind of stretch. Driven out into right center. Bruce will have to chase it down. Denorfia on his way to second. He's going to stay there. It's a double.
Smart play, 2 outs. No need trying to push it to get to third base. Cueto tries the quick pitch again. Denorfia ready for it, all over it. Elevated fastball. He rides it into the alley in right center.
Again, it may have been nothing, but right at the end here, I was trying to avoid him. I don't know. Again, that looks like nothing, but you never know. Off the glove of Cueto. De Jesus will make the play, and that will end the inning. Hamill trying to knock in another run. It's 4-2 Cincinnati. Time for the 5th inning. It's brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank. Country Day here at Wrigley Field. Nice crowd on hand. Cold and a little rainy. Foggy.
Throw another log on the fire, Grandma.
Mason Hamill has had to labor here through his first 4 innings. Jay Bruce lines one past Rizzo and into the right field corner. It's a leadoff 2-bagger for Bruce.
Fastball command has not been what it normally is. The slider hasn't been there. The confrontation with Frazier, he got off some really good sliders that showed up at the right time. Had to work out of that bases loaded jam. The base runners in every inning. And now with this leadoff double, I suspect the Cubs will get action going in that bullpen again. With Zach Roskup up last inning.
Pena 1 for 2 with an RBI. Oh, Pena held the bat there to show up to the third base umpire Ron Culpa.
It's fun to watch. Very animated.
He and Cueto are a good combo in that regard. That time it didn't work.
Been a little bit of Valbuena, and he used to ask to have the swing checked after it was already called a strike by the home plate umpire. The good news for Hamill is not a lot of firepower down near the bottom of the Reds batting order. A lot of firepower down near the bottom of most batting orders.
Ground ball toward right, cut off by Russell. Will get Pena for the out, runner at third with 1 away. Step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Beautiful Wrigley Field, Reds and Cubs, game 2 of a 4-game weekend set. Glenn and JD and our WGN crew, infield in against Suarez. Ball 1 outside.
That was not a pitch out, but I think that was an intentional fastball well off the plate, just in case Ryan Price was thinking first pitch squeeze there with pitcher on deck.
Hit the 100 pitch mark pretty early today here in the 5th.
It was a premeditated swing there by Suarez. He was convinced he was going to get a 2-0 heater there from Hamill.
Bruce is not going to tag. That ball's caught by Fowler. About 5 steps from the infield. 2 outs. Big second out. And it'll bring up the pitcher Cueto. See what he has up his sleeve this time.
Some days it's smooth sailing for starting pitchers. Other days it's an arduous battle. That's what it's been for Hamill here today. Fighting for everything.
There's a new CD. Parental advisory. Filthy stuff. Nicely done. Be released on Tuesday. Hamill gets out of the inning. Leadoff double, no runs. 4-2 Reds.
Take a peek at the Cubs' upcoming schedule. It's here tomorrow. That's on Fox. ESPN has the game on Sunday. Back here on WGN on Monday with the Cleveland Indians. Ford, America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Madison Russell, first pitch swinging and bounces to Todd Frazier. And one away here in the Cubs' fifth. 4-2 Cincinnati. It was a 6-3 winner last night. Beating Detroit 12-3 on Wednesday. Fowler cuts through a fastball at 92. Bunted. Not a bad play with the way Cueto has been dealing with some sort of leg issue. Unfortunately, Fowler couldn't get him far enough off the mound. Made a pretty easy play.
Cueto's now retired 9 of the last 10. He's got into a nice rhythm out there on the mound.
The job is not to try to injure the other team's starting pitcher, but with the wet grass here today, JD, and the footing and all that, if he had gotten it more toward third, that could have been a tricky play for Cueto.
Absolutely. Wet field, wet ball. You got a chance something could break in your favor.
To the shortstop on the other side of second. And that's a quick 1, 2, 3. 4-2 for the visitors. Text Subway to 97999 right now for your chance to win 6 meals from the Simple 6 menu at Subway. Subway, eat fresh. Message and data rates may apply. Here's left-hander Zach Roskup.
Edwin Jackson starting to loosen behind him out in the Cubs bullpen. Foul ball or out? Was he out of the box?
It's called foul. Yep, good call. Good. Still in the box.
4 bunt hits for Hamilton this year. He's tried 20 times. Roskup looking for the 24th time. 2-1 with a 4.29. Got a good arm. Get to the mid-90s with that heater. Really good when he gets on top, drives it down around the knees. That hard slider, a very good complementary pitch.
Today's performance didn't dent Jason Hamill's ERA too much. Came in at 276, went up to 281. 2 of the 4 runs were unearned, but he did leave trailing by a couple. 2-2.
Would not be surprised to find out that finger was bothering him a little bit, but he battled the strikeout of Frazier with the bases loaded. A critical confrontation in this game. Cubs still have a fighting chance, down just 2 here in the 6th.
So kind of goes without saying, you can't walk Billy Hamilton in the leadoff position in this inning. He's got an on-base percentage of .262. He does not walk a whole lot. And he struck him out. So Hamilton took it, but for strike 3 instead of ball 4.
Little cheese at the knees here from Roskup. That's the pitch I was talking about. We get on top and drive that ball down around the knees.
Schumacher reached on an error in the first, walked, caught stealing in the second, single in the fourth. He did score a run in that opening inning, so he's been a good leadoff man today. Brandon Phillips had been in the leadoff spot here as of late, and he's day-to-day with a groin injury.
Reds have been playing winning baseball over the last couple of weeks, and the offense had really been clicking. Phillips, Fotto, Frazier, swinging hot bats.
Cup from the stretch with nobody aboard. The 2-1 over but low. 3-1.
Throw him a cookie here. Let him hit a fly ball. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Lisa Dent and Rambling Ray from US 99.5 FM.
Ray's daughter did the national anthem today, Cheyenne Rose. She Did a terrific job.
Outstanding. And so maybe these guys will bring a little country twang to take me out to the ball game.
Bullpen, good stretch. Didn't mean to cut you off, sorry, partner.
No, I just think we were just at the same exact time inclined to talk about the Cubs bullpen.
He walked him.
Well, that would be considered a bad walk. Not all walks are bad. Sometimes you're pitching around a dangerous guy in a certain situation. One out, nobody on. Schumacher not a power guy. You got a left-handed hitter in there. Got dangerous hitters coming up.
Did you happen to catch the dugout argument between Red Sox manager John Farrell and starting pitcher Wade Miley?
Heard about it. Did not see video.
Same here. Read about it. Happened during the Red Sox 6-5 loss to the Orioles. It sounded like nothing more than Miley didn't want to come out of the game when he was pulled. And if anybody could understand that, John Farrell, former major league starting pitcher, certainly would be the guy.
Yeah, I saw the numbers. I didn't see Miley pitch, but the numbers weren't good.
Gave up 3 home runs in that game. Comes Chris Bosio. It's 2-0.
Yeah, I think the walk to Schumacher and kind of a passive approach here or defensive approach maybe to DeJesus has gotten their attention. I thought the first slider actually was a pretty good pitch. He didn't get the call. But after that, I think you have to be a little bit more aggressive. Because you got Votto and then Frazier coming next. This is a combination that they played hit and run with twice today. Schumacher on first, DeJesus hitting. Price might be inclined to start the runner here, figuring that Roskop's got to be around the plate on 2-0. Won't get a big jump though with the lefty on the mound. The lefty that gets swings and misses. So that would be the downside to starting Schumacher here. Roskop, more of a fly ball pitcher. Not quite as concerned about the ground ball double play.
3-0.
Taking all the way here and maybe even again on 3-1 if it gets to that.
That's the first one. The second one. 3-2. Schumacher not running, swing and a miss. So Roskop goes 3-0 to a strikeout. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, they came off the fastball, threw him a slider. DeJesus chase, ball out of the zone. Would have been ball 4. Look at Roskop's delivery.
Otto nudges it foul. Reds had their 4-game winning streak snapped last night.
There you go, little man.
Life is good. So, can I eat it? Is this edible?
This is a strange orb.
I love how dads live out their sports fandom through their young kids. You'll often see a guy like that holding up his 18-month-old son with a piece of paper and a pen to get an autograph. He's your biggest fan. Please sign it.
Look at my cute child.
He doesn't even know who you are. You got to sign for the kid.
Yeah. He's going to cherish this in a few years.
2-2. Runner at first, 2 outs, and Rosscup will throw over just to let Schumacher know he hadn't forgotten about him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So all the outs were strikeouts. In fact, nobody put a ball in play in the 6th for the Reds. Here's today's Honda game summary. The Reds got 3 in the very first inning off Jason Hamill. See Todd Frazier with a very good stretch. Johnny Cueto has been pretty good for Cincinnati. Addison Russell with an error in the first, but also 1 for 2. A double and an RBI. Honda Dream Garage sales event. Now, at your Honda dealer. Chris Bryant will start it. Strike 1 on Bryant.
One of the keys to Cueto's success is he throws strike one quite often, about 2/3 of the time. And then the other piece of the equation is he does it with a lot of different pitches.
Cueto, 29 years old. That ball's going to drop in. Top spin line drive. Leadoff single. For Chris Bryant, he's 2 out of 3.
Solid singles here this afternoon for Bryant. Talking earlier about Bryant, how he's having, a tendency to roll over on the ball a little bit here lately. That time he stayed through the middle.
First time today the Cubs have had the first hitter of an inning on base against Cueto. Montero. Homers each of the last 2 days. James Russell is up. It's been a while, but remember when Cueto made his major league debut, 2008? First 2 starts combined, he struck out 18 with no walks. He was the first pitcher in the modern era to do that. And then he lost his next 5 decisions. The ball will get out of play. It wasn't always pretty early on. First 3 years, 08 to 2010, he was a 500 pitcher with a 4.27 ERA, but since 2011, 250. And he's gone 57 up, 29 down. So when it clicked, it really clicked.
Yeah, always had good stuff. Just took a while to figure it out, and that's not atypical. "29 years of age, still has good years ahead of him, and that's why it's going to be a very attractive commodity come the trade deadline and in free agency next offseason."
He's a couple of months younger than David Price. Both will be 30 going into next season. Their numbers are pretty similar as they go into free agency. One guy's left-handed, the other a righty. One has spent his whole career in the American League, the other in the NL. It'll be interesting to see what those 2 guys in particular get in the free agent market. I'll say this, it'll be a lot. It's just a matter of how much. How many trucks of cash will be delivered to their houses?
It would be significant. The Reds and Cueto, they talked about an extension, a new deal for a while, just weren't able to put it together. And it was towards the end of spring training where he said, "Hey, if this is still going on by the time we get to opening day, I'm done talking."
Another deep count on a Cub hitter. Something they've been doing since opening day. Very patient group as a whole. 3-2 on Montero. Tap back to Cueto, and he thought about second briefly before throwing it to first.
If you are considering a trip here to Wrigley Field, the Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. If you're on a bike, the Cubs provide courtesy bike check. See it? It's right there. See the bike with the sign. And if you drive your car, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com. Come on out. Bleachers are in full swing. Team's playing good ball. The weather will improve.
The only Cincinnati Reds fan out there in the bleachers. Runner at second, 1 out. Here's Castro. Continues to be a foggy, hazy, and a drizzly Friday afternoon. Wind blowing in from center. Right field, long run, Jay Bruce, foul into the bullpen.
Good read by Chris Bryant. A little hesitation as he read that pop up. Off he went, so he was going to score easily if that ball got down in fair territory. They always come down. Cubs have seen a lot of Johnny Cueto over the years. He's made 22 starts. Reds are 11-11 in those ball games. He's 9-8 with a 3.24. Castro came into this one 9 out of 36 against the right-hander.
Yep, this is his 43rd career plate appearance against Cueto.
Fly to right and a ground to short today for Starlin. How sweet does that feel for Castro? It's been a frustrating go for him, but a game-tying home run. Number 5 for Starlin.
First time he's connected in his career off Cueto. Boy, did he need that, and man, did his team need it.
Game on.
Up by Chris Coghlan. Frazier has it, 2 outs. Castro tucked it just inside the foul pole. Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? The distance of that home run, 408 feet. Go to WGNTV.com/contest for your chance at one of 5 pairs of tickets anywhere Southwest Airlines flies in the United States or Puerto Rico. Well, hits Denorfia.
Two-seamer with run up and in after the changeup.
Now Mike Baxter to hit for Roscoe. Good game as a DH in Detroit the other night. So Jason Hamill will get a no decision. 2 strikes on the pinch hitter, Mike Baxter. Check on DeNorfield. Called strike 3 to end the inning, as Castro ties it on a 2-run blast, 4-4. Cubs fan cam.
Summertime is finally here. That old ballpark man is back in gear out on 49. Man, I can see the lights. School's out and the night's rolling, man. Just like a long lost friend you ain't seen in a while. You can't help but smile. And it's 2 bad feet on the dashboard.
Summertime. Kenny Chesney, WGN Cubs fan cam. James Russell is on, working to Todd Frazier, and is what a tie, now a tie game. 4-4. 2-run homer, Starlin Castro to tie it up.
Dangerous left-handed hitter Jay Bruce on deck. Russell's changeup allows him to compete well against right-handed hitters, so he gets the call here. He's worked 9 consecutive scoreless outings, not always innings. A lot of times it's a hitter or 2 for James. It was 3 up, 3 down, 7th inning for him yesterday. That 6 innings of near perfection from the Cubs bullpen.
Right-hander Justin Grimm, with a watchful eye of Lester Strode. 3 balls and a strike on Frazier, who's doubled, homered, and knocked in a couple.
Come out of his shoes here.
Very hard. Oh, what a play. Addison Russell on the one-hopper, the backhand, and he gets Frazier.
He is putting together quite a highlight reel of plays up the middle. The ball was smoked. We've seen him do this time and time again. Well positioned, great reaction.
side corner. 1-1. Down along the left field line. Who wants it? Bryant had it and couldn't make the play. In and out of his glove.
Bruce stays alive. Not sure exactly where he was. He probably had one more step to take, but there's a whole lot going on down there. Won't be an issue next year. The bullpens will be under the bleachers. I guess I should say it'd be less of an issue next year.
Call strike 3.
Time Bruce has struck out today. This time looking. Let's take a look at our pitch tracks. Maybe a hair off that outside corner. Quality pitch though.
And 1 to Pena. RBI single first inning. Strikeout in the third, a ground out in the fifth. In the air to right. Denorfia on the move, makes the catch. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. It is brought to you by Budweiser.
Today's conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. US 99's Lisa Dent and Rinwin Ray.
All right, Cubs fans, let's sing.
Every time we do the 7th inning stretch, the Cubbies win, baby. Are you ready? 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. Come on.
I don't care if I never come back, 'cause
It's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the old ball game. Let's go, Cubbies! Get some run! Woo!
Four, 7-1 for both teams as the Cubs will bat here in the bottom of the 7th. Johnny Cueto is an ace. And he continues on Even though he's given up 4, his pitch count not in terrible shape, 99 and counting. And a cool day.
Pretty clean through the middle innings. There's work in the Reds bullpen now.
Spin and the pitch, and a high fly ball deep to left. Way back toward the wall, and that ball will be caught on the warning track by Schumacher. He thought that was going to get out. The wind knocked it down. The fog has really rolled in right now.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get our homer in the Gloman when that one left the bat of Addison Russell. Schumacher thought so too. He retreats all the way to the wall and works his way back. Stressful moments for Cueto, and it ends well for him. He didn't fair catch that ball.
Swing and a miss by Fowler. Taking that fly ball brought back memories for Billy Williams. Hank Aaron fly ball against Ken Holtzman during the no-hitter. Brickhouse called it like that was it. No hitter's over. One's going to leave the yard. And it didn't.
The one Anthony Rendon hit the other day in Washington off Jason Hamler. Jason was asking for a new ball from the umpire, and the ball stayed in the yard. Pitch change up again from Cueto. Now they're looking for his first knock today.
Strike 3 called on the outer third.
Check out the Legend Suite located on the Nuveen Investment Suite level. Watch the game with a former Cub player and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub with a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest. The Legend Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more information, visit Cubs.com/suites. Where was it? The Xfinity Pitch Tracks had it well off the outside corner. Carapaza's been pretty generous out there today for the pitchers.
One and nothing on Rizzo. 0 for 3 to start his afternoon. Trying to start a 2-out rally with Todd Frazier basically playing short and everybody else over on the other side.
With 2 outs and nobody on, Joe Madden probably would prefer to see Rizzo try to do damage there. But Anthony 0 for 3 today. Maybe just not seen it all that well.
Look at Cueto. Does he think he's going to throw him out if he goes and gets it?
I don't know. Maybe it's just instinct takes over. I get busting it off the mound for the first couple of strides, but once the ball's rolling down the line, there's no play to be made for him.
So he'll catch his breath. Get ready for a 1-2.
You'd rather have a guy go too hard than too easy.
Yep.
Now hit a double.
Thinking about a 2-strike bunt, your favorite. You're a fan of the 2-strike.
I am a fan of the 2-strike, but not a big fan of it in this particular situation because of who's in the box. But I think it just speaks to Rizzo and how he's seeing the ball off Cueto here today more than anything. Not only today, but in his career, he's had virtually no success against Cueto.
to get him on a cutter.
Cueto a little frustrated because Carapazza has called some pitches off that outside corner, but I don't think that was a strike.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. It's 9 now for Cueto. We are tied at 4.
Summertime is finally here. That old ballpark man is back in gear out on 49.
Three different times already, we've seen at least 9 homers over a 12-game stretch. Harper, Cruz, and the latest, Giancarlo Stanton.
There's a lot of barraging right there.
Part of that stretch for Stanton coming against the Cubs.
Cubs bullpen brilliant yesterday. So far, so good here today. Yes, Roskup and Russell, scoreless innings, and now Mott takes his turn.
1-3 in the Reds' order, and look who's on deck. Brandon Phillips might make his first appearance in the series. Would be for Cueto. I say might make an appearance. Sometimes a guy on deck and you don't use him, but looks like he's ready to get back into action. The Cubs did a good job against Johnny Cueto today. They did not walk. They did score 4 times against him. Big home run by Castro. 1-2 on the way, and Suarez hits it foul. This is the largest crowd of the season here at Wrigley Field, 40,016. The bleachers are open as of yesterday.
We've seen an entertaining ball game. 4-4 in the 8th. Look out.
And on the hands that time. Brian Price trying to piece it together here with a banged up roster. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy are back. Give your kids an unforgettable baseball experience this summer. First camp kicks off in Lake Forest June the 22nd. Camps to follow will be in Palatine, Naperville, and Evanston. For details and to sign up, go to Cubs.com/kids. Here's Phillips. Been battling a groin injury. He got hurt and snapped his 8-game hitting streak. That was on Tuesday. We've gone 14 for 34 during the streak. That's a .412 average. So didn't play Wednesday or Thursday, but pinch hitting today, and could be a precursor to him getting back into their lineup tomorrow night. Might we see Devin Mesoraco this weekend in left field? I know he had some the general soreness he was dealing with playing a few games in left the other day, but they wanted to get him ready fairly quickly.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I know that's the plan at some point. The fact that the Reds have been playing winning baseball and scoring a fair number of runs buys them a little more time to keep Mesoraco down there working on the new position.
Seeing that sore hip will not allow him to come back as quickly as they thought. He left the game on Wednesday with soreness in that hip. So Fowler in center for out number 2. So he's going to go back to Cincinnati and rehab that hip. Hamilton. I think we've seen more guys square to bunt today than we had in about a week's worth of games.
And we talked about Rizzo doing it against the shift. Here it obviously makes all kinds of sense with Hamilton's speed. He can turn a bunt single into a double in a hurry. And an empty day for him, a couple lazy fly balls and a punch out. .210 average as a left-handed batter, .264 on base percentage overall coming into this game.
On first, and it's foul.
If he doesn't improve on those numbers, the conversation will come up again. Is Billy Hamilton better as an everyday player, or is he better coming off the bench as a backup, a guy you can use as a pinch runner? Spot him a day or two a week. He's like a fourth outfielder. He's a great weapon coming off the bench in a tight game late. As a pinch runner, you know he's going to be on base. As a guy getting 4 at-bats a day, you just don't know how often that's going to happen.
Shallow left. Coughlin's got it. And Mott works a 1-2-3-8. Bullpen has been terrific once again. We're deadlocked late at 4.
But there was a time back in my
MLB.TV Premium is #1 for streaming live sports. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. J.J. Hoover has been terrific.
$1.85 ERA. A lot more outs on the ground this year. Way more than he did last year. Striking out as many.
Almost as good a chance of taking a walk as getting a hit. 24 1/3 innings, 13 hits, 11 walks. He's not given up a home run after allowing 13 and 62 and 2/3 innings last year. 3 balls, no strikes.
One loss record usually doesn't mean a whole lot for a relief pitcher, but he was 1-10 last year with a 488.
.6'3", 245. Here's his pitch. He walked him. There you go. Lead off, free pass. Bryant on for the 3rd time in 4 tries. Here's Montero.
Just more evidence of Bryant's mature approach. Tie game, bottom of the 8th, big crowd, chance to do something heroic. Might overswing, chase a bad ball. Chris Bryant more than willing to accept that walk.
Here to center. And it's Hamilton. 1 away. Here comes Starlin Castro. He tied it up with a home run in the 6th.
Credit from the changeup that drifted up and in and ultimately out.
Away to Waveland. homer in this ballpark in almost a calendar year. Runner goes, ground ball to second. The flip, they get one, they get two. So Bryant was on the move, but they cannot stay out of the double play. To the ninth inning, it's tied at 4. JD, you know what that is? A penthouse right there?
No.
That is our former podcast studios. Look at that. There's Pedro Strop.
That was a bit of TV magic right there. I'm not sure what that shot was.
Strop against Skip Schumacher. We're in the ninth and a 4-4 tie.
TV magic. Remember TV magic cards?
No.
Turn them over and they're all the 4 of hearts. Bullpen here the last couple of days. They're tight. Not allowing runs. Hardly any base runners. Marshall Brodini, I think was the guy's name.
Okay.
Tap the deck, turn it over, and they're all the ace of clubs.
The stuff stuck in that brain of yours. Pretty amazing.
That was locked away for good until that phrase TV magic came out. It just hit me.
They rolled his Chapman up. Two. Slider bounces up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Stroke like Cueto will use that quick pitch. Very effective with it. Schumacher has been on base all day long. 4 reaches. Error, a couple of walks, and a knock.
11th big league season for Schumacher. 8 of those years with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Hard-nosed, versatile ball player. Stroke got him. He was tardy and a little emergency hack there, and he's able to just get a piece to stay alive.
Yes, we see you.
Put a little hex on.
The ground to Bryant.
Well, who's left down there in the bullpen for the Cubs? Wood from the left side. And he threw 36 pitches in the ball game yesterday. Grumman, Jackson, and Rondon from the right.
Lefties don't bother Joey Votto at all. Here's to Jesus. Called strike. Fastball. Good spot. 0-2.
So with Chapman throwing, do we assume that Hoover gets one more if it remains tied?
That's a good question.
Chapman's only in case the Reds score. I mean, that's probably how he's going to play it.
In case you're wondering, and I know you are, the Cubs have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra inning games. 3 have been on Friday. So if we do go to the 10th today, half the Cubs extra inning games will have been on Friday.
So if you're contemplating buying tickets for a future game and you like extra innings,
it's a free baseball.
Friday, yeah. I love watching Votto's mannerisms in the box.
Yeah, you said it right. He's a thinker. You can see that computer up there grinding away. 3-0 the count. Frazier on deck. And he gets a 3-0 slider. 3-1. That's respect. Ground ball to the third baseman, Bryant. And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the ninth, a chance to win it in walk-off fashion. 4-4. Nothing right off the bat. Able to battle their way back to a 4-4 tie. No runs since the 2-run game-tying homer by Castro in the 6th. And it is Hoover to try to get this game into extras. Chris Coughlin will lead it off.
Cubs bullpen has been outstanding today. in support of Jason Hamill, who went 5. It's not his best, but I'll tell you what, that punch out of Frazier in the 4th with the bases loaded was huge.
Frazier in at 3rd. Everybody else is back. That is a strike. It's 1-1. After Rondon in the Cubs bullpen. Reds pen is quiet. 2-1. Jam shot, one hopper to the second baseman, to Jesus, and Coghlan beats it. He could not get the ball cleanly out of his glove. A weak throw, and Coghlan respecting 90 as an infield hit.
Not an easy play, but a play that should have been made. De Jesus can't get the handle. Coghlan safely aboard.
So the winning run is on with nobody out.
Ball took some funky spin on him.
See what Joe wants to do here with DeNorfia. Handles the bat well. I'm going to guess bunt. We'll see.
At the pitcher's spot next.
Bunted foul.
Baxter's been used. Herrera, Ross, Lake remain.
Jonathan Herrera walking into the on-deck circle. Joey Votto at first base, envisioning a spin and a throw to second. As that ball hit the glove, he actually mimicked fielding the ball and spinning and throwing to second.
Rehearsing the play,
yeah. Bunted toward Votto. He spins, but he can't make the play at second. He has to get the out at first.
I think what drove that decision as much as anything for Joe Maddon was the fact that Hoover has gotten a lot of ground ball outs this year. Didn't want to see another double play. The way the last inning ended, didn't want to see that leadoff hit erased with the double play ball. A couple of chances to win the game. First Herrera and then Russell.
Couple of shots here to win it. Runner at second, one out. Again, Hamilton very shallow in center. Schumacher has moved in and left. Who's playing the deepest among their trio of outfielders? Late swing by Herrera.
Now, Herrera doesn't have a lot of power. The wind's blowing in. The ball not carrying well today, so it makes sense to shorten up in that outfield to give them a much better shot at throwing out Coghlan on a base hit. Tardy on the heater was Herrera.
Have struggled getting that guy in here, but let's see. Reds pitchers had 2. Still 1-2.
Suarez had tiptoed in behind Coghlan prior to the pitch. He was way out of position as that pitch was being delivered, leaving a wide open hole for Herrera on the left side of the infield. Every pitch he sees, the better the chances that he gets Hoover timed up here on that fastball. Seeing a lot of guys come off the bench trying to catch up to a 93-mile-an-hour heater, and he just has a hard time getting the head out in front. And after a number of pitches, start to catch up.
Winning run at second. That's Coughlin. Hoover with a 2-2. Hit pretty well. Bruce going after it. He makes a diving catch. Coughlin will tag and head to third. Jay Bruce, at least for the time being, just saved this game. What a grab out in deep right center.
Wow, Jonathan Herrera with a chance to be a hero, and perhaps Jay Bruce, well, certainly a hero for the moment for the Reds. Outstanding play. There's no plan B here if he doesn't catch it. Ball game over.
Heads up play by Coughlin. He knows if that ball gets by him, he could walk home. So 2 outs, runner at third. It's Addison Russell. Fans on their feet. Fog continuing to roll in off the lake.
I seem to recall a walk-off base hit by Addison Russell here earlier this year.
Curve ball. Missing. Ball one. What do you think pre-8/8/88 would we even be playing right now? Without the lights, anybody could see anything. 2-0.
Be ready to hit right here. Go ahead and let it fly. Almost knocked one out of here last time up.
This is against Washington on the previous homestand. With Matt Grace. Ball four. Here comes Fowler. And Hoover, the setup man for our oldest Chapman. This is a kind of performance, no matter how it goes, he might not be available tomorrow. But Jeff Pico, the pitching coach, had to discuss strategy here with Fowler coming up.
Lefty up in the pen. Para, I believe.
You are correct.
The numbers tell you not to turn Fowler around. He's a .350 hitter from the right side this year, .231 as a left-handed batter.
And he's known as a better right-handed hitter in his career than lefty. Bruno went 7, so most of their bullpen still available. First and third, 2 outs. Fowler fouls.
They're not holding Russell, who could take second base. And Brandon Hyde just told him that very thing. Go ahead.
Strike called as Russell takes second, since the Reds were going to give it to him.
His run doesn't matter, but take away that force play.
Was not credited with a stolen base.
A tough day for Dexter so far, but chance for redemption here in the ninth.
Hoover's 1-2. Drive to deep center. Hamilton makes the catch, and we're going to go to extras. Cubs had their chances here in the ninth. Bruce with the great catch. We're going to the 10th. So we go to extra innings. 4-4. The Reds are 1-4 in extras. The Cubs are 5-2. Here's Hector Rondon.
Hector 3-0 with a 284 earned run average. He's got Frazier, Bruce, and Pena to deal with here in the top of the 10th. Cubs bullpen. 4 outstanding innings so far today. They've allowed 1 base run. No hits. Last Cup issued a walk in his inning of work, but he punched out 3.
Slider strike to start it. That one at 89.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday from Hector. He's normally very fastball reliant, throwing a little cutter, changeup. Mixing it up out there.
The ground bobbled by Bryant. Throw to first. And Frazier's aboard. It's an error on Bryant.
The bobble put a little pressure on the arm. Doesn't get it cleanly. Has to hurry the throw, and he has a tendency to work underneath the ball, cut it off a little bit, get under it, and have it sail on him.
Now Bruce, who made the game-saving play, a diving grab to rob Herrera in the 9th.
Second error of the day for the Cubs.
And that one bounced into right. Frazier's going to make third. Lots of trouble here for Hector Rondon. I was going to say the other error came to start the ball game, allowing Skip Schumacher to reach. You always hate it when it's that first batter of an inning.
Yep. Obviously, your pitcher's got to be able to pitch around some errors, but that leadoff error is a little tougher to deal with. Not a bad pitch there. Brooks hit it on the ground. Rizzo's holding the base runner. He's even with the bag. Can't make a play on it. They go first and third. Chapman's warming up in the pen. He's not looking good for the home team right now.
Infield in. Pena takes a strike on 97.
Pena switch hitter, and he's far better from this side. With a couple of shots out of the zone, see if he'll chase.
First out is huge in this spot. You can miss a bat here. You got Suarez on deck. You got a fighting chance to get out of it with no damage. Foul at the plate.
Reaching out to cover that backdoor slider. Maybe be able to overpower him inside.
One low and in, and Bruce steals second. So it's 2-2 now on Pena. Let's see how they choose to play it here. You're 2-2, so now you're trying to avoid contact completely for sure. Well, they weren't going to try to turn two anyway. Go ahead run at third, nobody out. If you do walk him here, it's not the end of the world.
They got Suarez next, the kid, and he's 0 for 3 today with a couple of punch outs. Then a pinch hitter for Hoover, likely Brennan Bosch.
Two to 3-2 on Pena.
Pena struck out on a backdoor breaking ball back in the third. I think Miguel Montero's. It's the pitch he's trying to make a couple of times here in this sequence.
Swing and a miss. That's one.
Nice pitch on the plate, but down. The appearance of a strike for a while. Gets Pena to bite.
Rizzo way in on the grass at first. Everybody else in as well. Suarez. Runners at second and third. Inside, ball one. Rizzo backs up a couple of steps.
Is the non-pitch out, pitch out. Just in case they were thinking squeeze. Second time in this game we've seen that from Suarez, where he gets in a fastball count and he sells out. Cheats on a heater, and both times he got something off speed and missed. Foot and a half.
Frazier reached on an error. Bruce singled. Eventually stole second. Pena struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Now 2-1 on Suarez.
of grinding going on right here. Montero checking the bench to see what they want to do. That little pitch away again.
It's a suicide squeeze, and it's bunted foul as Frazier took off for the plate.
He sniffed it out. Montero's way off the outside corner. Again, he's not coming out of his crouch like a pitch out. They're trying not to tip it off. It's not necessarily a conventional pitch out where the catcher comes out from behind home plate. But they set up way off the plate and call for that fastball way out there. I didn't get it far enough out for Joe Maddon's liking. Couldn't do it again.
Bosch is on deck. Three-two. Bounced into left, base hit. Frazier's in, Bruce to third. 5-4 Cincinnati. Suarez with his first RBI in 2 games with the Reds as he bounces it through a drawn-in infield.
And slider that was down. Suarez able to reach out and push it through the infield.
So Bosch off the bench. And it will be Chapman in the bottom of this inning. Strike called on the outside. That is an unearned run. Topper to first, foul.
Have not gotten away with their errors here today. They've committed 2. They've both been costly.
J.J. Hoover was staring at a loss as Jonathan Herrera lined one toward the gap in right center, and then Jay Bruce made the diving grab. Now Hoover can get a win. Runner goes from first, swing and a miss, strike 3. A stolen base for Suarez. 2 outs in the inning. Bring up Hamilton. Cornerman in, guarding against a bunt. He has struck out and flied out 3 times. One and two. Third out for Rondon to get here with 2 men in scoring position. Try to keep this game a 1-run game. To Denorfia to end the inning. An unearned run. It's now 5-4 Cincinnati. It'll be Rizzo versus Chapman when we return.
That's about to change, 'cause every week has a weekend.
To see some major heat from Aroldis Chapman. No relation to general soreness.
Major heat and general soreness. Major heat is 3-3 this year. He's got 12 saves and 13 tries with a .230 earned run average. Not quite as bulletproof this year as he was last. Giving up a few more hits. 20 hits in 27 innings is good by most standards, but not compared to what he did last year. He gave up 21 hits in 54 innings. So half the amount of innings of work. He's allowed just one less hit this year than last. Why? Because his velocity's down. He's only averaging 99.5 miles per hour with his heater. Last year he finished the year averaging better than 100 miles per hour. That's according to Fangraphs.
A lot of fog inside the ballpark now.
Yeah, hit off this guy in the fog. Talked so much about Anthony and the damage he has done against left-handed pitching. Obviously Chapman's a little different cat. This is a fun confrontation right here. Two elite talents.
So an 18-game on-base streak on the line for Anthony today. A hefty on-base percentage. Well, Chapman has gotten it to 1 and 2. His walk rate pretty high, 14%. Major league average around 8. The pitch. Found out a play to left.
The hitter's just going to tell himself to be real quick to the ball. Can afford to take a big load and a long swing. Last year he struck out better than half the batters he faced. That's just like the big kid in Little League. Staying alive.
On 100. Just got a piece of it.
In terms of on-base plus slugging, Rizzo among the best in all of baseball, top 3. One of the best years going in Cubs history in that department.
Chris Bryant looking for some redemption. He made the error to start the top of this inning. He's on deck. He's been on 3 times today. See Rizzo choking up on the bat. East Coast games just getting started around baseball. We've been going at it here for over 3 hours. 10th inning, 5-4 Reds. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 101 miles an hour from Chapman. There's no shame in striking out against him, as you mentioned. He does this a lot.
You do not have a whole lot of time to react. Even against an average Major League fastball. The guy was up over 100 miles an hour. Didn't have to be.
If Bryant hits one up in the air with authority, they may have to put an APB out on it because it is really foggy. It might catch a plane on its way out of here and we would never see it.
Outfielders might have a hard time seeing it.
Yep. But first things first, got to put a ball in play. To do that, Chapman getting some swings and misses here. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 101 to get Rizzo, 99 to fan Bryant.
They put it in a good spot too. Cutting action up above the belt, moving in on Chris.
So it's up to Montero. So you got to gear up pretty quickly against Chapman. Some guys, when they face really hard throwers, swing extra hard, which is probably the wrong thing to do.
Just have to be quick, have to be short to the ball.
Chapman will supply that power. Another final strike. Kick the 1-2. 2-2. Castro on deck. Remember, he tied it with a home run back in the 6th off Johnny Cueto. Starters both get no decisions. Cueto and Hamill. Cueto went 7, Hamill went 5. 3-2. Ball 4. They have life.
Now the Caps are on. In the 6th inning, Starlin Castro got a hanging changeup from Johnny Cueto. Knocked it out of the ballpark.
Well, Miguel Montero is the starting catcher, but David Ross can tell him, but I'm faster than you are, because he's going to pinch run.
You know you're not fast when you get pinch ran for by a 38-year-old backup catcher.
Line drive, left field. It is caught, and that will end the ball game. It's Christopher Negron out there in left to haul it in, and the Reds have evened up the series at a game apiece. Jay Bruce for that big catch, and all smiles for the Reds. They win it with an unearned run in the 10th inning.
Yeah, you know, the Cubs pitched pretty well today. Jason Hamill wasn't at his best, but he hung in there. The bullpen was good. Even Rondon, who ends up taking a loss here, I thought threw the ball well, but the errors really the key in this ball game. One early, one late, leading to 3 unearned runs for the Reds.
We'll be back. Your final 5-4 Cincinnati in 10.